Back at you, Texas. Let me address a few things. I'm gonna try to freestyle this video, and I want to say, Charles White, I got your message. I did get a new parole officer today. I understand you got me being looked at, but like I told him, fuck him too. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Is you, Charles White, because you'll be a whole ass nigga anyway, and it's nothing I do to try to monetize it when it comes to my activism. What I do want to say to the state of Texas is, I think Texas forgot a case dealing with Cameron Todd Winningham on Texas death row. He was executed in 2004, somewhere in 2004. Well, anyway, it was a case up out of Corsicana where he was innocent. And he was accused with false junk science of burning up a home and killing his 3 kids, even though Texas knew he was innocent. Lawmakers in Texas knew he was innocent. And I said all this to relate back to the Camilo Anthony's case that we deal with, and Camilo Anthony case is an all-white jury. We got a guy on Texas death row right now named Rodney Reed. He's black. He out of a small town here in Texas, Belstrap, Texas at that. And he was sentenced in 2000 and I believe he was sentenced in 2006. Case like fell in 2004. 2006 he was sentenced to death row. He hit death row like 2008. I met it. Anyway, I kind of walked him through, a little bit about the legal system, helping with his case. I've been in contact with Rodney in prison, when I was fired off death row, when I was supposed to be on death row. But anyway, Rodney was granted a stay of execution in 2003 by the United States Supreme Court to review new evidence in this case, which was dealing with a belt. Is the ultimate evidence that I forgot who the victim was. She got strangled anyway. But there's other ample evidence dealing with this case that the guy that she was in an affair with, a fence, another guy, he's a white guy that was an ex-police officer. They had a abusive relationship, which wasn't none of that evidence ever presented at his trial for reasons I don't know. But I was told that the lawyers did present it because they didn't want to present it. And Supreme Court granted Rodney in 2003, this new evidence be reviewed. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals rejected it. He's just sitting on death row waiting on the execution warrant to be signed any day. Another dead man had a trial with an all-white jury now. He's in a small town, a Belstrap. And people need to understand that sometimes a jury pool is called up of those people. Sometimes that you won't even get a black person in some of these areas. And who called the jury pool up? It's just county officials. They know who they calling up. They know who they calling up. It's people that normally did votes. And so we going back to this Camilo Anthony case. I just want to expose when people talk about all-white jury. The Basin Aaron was heard by the United States Supreme Court, and I believe it's a 1986 case. And courts is not following the Basin Aaron. It's when jurors of your peers be struck of your race, if they struck because of race reasons. Majority of the jurors in Texas, man, that people have, they belong to homeowner associations and stuff like that. And they stay in these crime-watching communities. They taught how to be qualified jurors, what to go in there and say, what not to say. Say you don't read these magazines. Say you don't do that. If you ask any question, say you got black friends. You like the Cosby Show. You like this when they don't. They taught how to be qualified. This big old thing about race, it plays a big old factor, man, because how would you think all black jury feel if you were reviewing a case like Rodney Reed and there was a white guy said to killed and raped a 19-year-old white woman. You don't think that black jury find that white guy guilty? Yes, they will. They real sensitive. They not going to follow all the facts. They going to follow that he's an evil white guy, and yeah, he laid up this little 19-year-old girl, and he killed her, you know? And then you got the white attorney, the white judge in this little kangaroo-ass town. You know, they all know each other. So they done talked about this case, you know, at the local Dairy Queen and everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And so when we are dealing with people that's innocent in the state of Texas, I've been working on trying to free a lot of prisoners. I got a lot of requests. A lot of people want me to help them with their sisters and brothers incarcerated, even outside the state of Texas. But it's so hard to do because it's no money out here for post-eviction. That's why lawyers don't represent post-eviction cases. You don't have no big old, you know, Catholic churches say, hey, we got $1 billion, we got 25 million over here, and we got an innocent project being directed by someone to look at cases, refer them to lawyers, and these people are more likely to be innocent. And this is the reason why I'm real touched about people like Charleston White. You know, you sit around and you fan this type of injustice, man. And this thing ain't to be played with. It's real. It's a lot of brothers, man, in prison. Heard this dude, he talk about he got people in prisons down with him. He mentored to them when they were juveniles. Man, this dude in prison got their fist balled up about this dude because they innocent down there. They hear him on social media, and then he out of Fort Worth, Texas. They wonder why, man, who's lying this dude to do all this type of stuff? Yeah, so a lot of you people listen to my message, man, y'all stay tuned in. And a lot of you people that's got innocent people locked up, ask them how they innocent, because they've been gone a year outside of their final conviction. They gonna face procedural obstructs that they can't even really overcome, because you got to have new evidence to overcome that. And then you got to have a court to give you a fresh shot, to give you a merit determination. I stayed locked up 27 years being innocent, legal gating, filing every court. They never gave me my merit determination. They give you a white card in Texas. It have a 4 on it. It lets you know you time barred. And say you file a second success petition. Any petition after that, they put a 4 and a number on it. But you never had the first petition ever reviewed on the merits. Do anybody care? No. Because Bill Clinton passed the law, like I said. I believe September 16 or 14, 2006. And he passed the Anti-Terrorism Effective Death Penalty Act. The United States knew there was innocent prisoners all around the United States. They flooded it. And they knew the prison needed the legal gate. They know they was poor. That's why they end up in prison. They know they needed private investigators. So they passed that law to bar you from going into court. Say you're a year late and you barred. So it's not about whether some people's incarcerated, their family sold their house, got loans on their house. They go get a lawyer to get a white card to say you barred. Your claims will never be heard. You know? And today, what I experienced of my advocating for injustice and how I done turned up recently, man, I got a parole officer fucking with me, you know? And I got an African supervisor and I got an African parole officer, but, you know, they want to silence me by any means. I don't care if it's a revocation. I don't give a fuck about that. I spent 27 years locked up being this. You think I give a fuck about some form of retaliation of a police officer? I had every bone broken in my body in a penitentiary by racist police officers, wardens and stuff like that. So, you know, I stand tall in this thing, man. And any of y'all listen to me, and y'all get out there for me. And plus it's my hometown. This Fort Worth, Texas, man. We look like we some small dudes, because we got a dude saying he's a snitch of the capital of the world, and he run all the Crips and Bloods in Fort Worth. And all the shot callers and dope dealers, businessmen, regular civilians, named Charles White. He done disrespect the country, people, kids. And I know Lil Ronnie Pressure, man. He a good little old guy. And we got dudes he disrespecting for work, and they end up being his punk ass dude friend. Yeah. And now if he asked me about this parole off situation, I'm gonna blow all kind of smoke in his ass, you know? Because Charleston, I'm so good with this law and this ink pen right here, I would sue you for your estate. And I would litigate the case all the way to summary judgment. And I give it to the lawyers. And I got 5 writ writers be here with me. We gonna bang. I will bang against any law firm you got. But I'm gonna come to get your name. I'm gonna come to get everything you got. And when you got to hit up on the LLC, I wouldn't care. I know how to make the judge disclose that. That's how good I am with the law. Yeah. So you talking about you got a law degree. You talking to somebody, man, know how to fan this ink pen. And I know how to bang this law. So, Fort Worth, Texas, man, blow that man up out this city, man. He done disrespected us. And he disrespected our fight for injustice, man. That's all we ever fought for throughout the years. The equality, you know, disparity in the system to dealing with our procedure rights, the substantial due process. You know, man, we need this man out the way. He's saying he don't like people like me that been to prison. He don't like people that, why he don't like them? He know that every dude been to prison got a big old long dick. He act like he one of them little old faggot type niggas. The woman he like always lean towards someone that been to prison. But I really believe that he's a homosexual. I do. And because that's all he worried about. Guys that portrays a certain image. He look like he want to emulate them. You know? If you really watch him, he been a little one-eyed, wimpy type dude all his life. Try to get with some little old gangster dudes, get up in the car, play what that old movie, Boys and the Men back in the day. And they jumped out and killed the white man behind a starter jacket, whatever that was back then. And he bragging that he's militant, he killed the white man. Ain't you white folks mad in this country that y'all got this little wimpy punk that they done put on every talk show in the company? He talked down all the gangsters, international, east and west coast. They're really serving their community, out doing good, and you got a little wimpy punk that snitched his way out of everything, saying that he's the police capital of the world. We don't even know who he is. He might be a terrorist. Yeah, but anyway, just keep it the street, keep it real, man. Steady Blue, Fort Worth, Texas. Y'all tap in, and y'all tap into Rodney King case, man. And another case on Texas Death Row, Robert Robertson, man, another white guy. He fell out of a small town, I believe East Texas, man. He was accused of a baby syndrome case, like shaking a baby. Man, the guy's innocent, man. Once you get in these penitentiaries, man, and you found guilty, they don't want to let you go, man. And sometimes, when it comes to injustice, it ain't all about the race. Because me, I'd have fought for all kind of races locked up. You know, in the day, I still stand on the same thing. But y'all watch that guy, man. His name Robert Robertson. And it's guy like that to be strapped up any moment. But Rodney Reed, that's my boy, man. And I hope Texas get behind it, man, because he might get an execution date. Who knows? I hope not. Because Texas Court of Criminal Appeals stirred it up on the Supreme Court. They said they wasn't going to test the new evidence. It's a belt. It's the same belt that strangulated the white girl they said he raped and killed, which was a girlfriend of his, but he was in a little old hick country town. Said, nope, it wasn't your girlfriend. You raped and killed the 19-year-old white girl. You know? And it's a shame, man. And it's Texas. And the lawmakers are here, people we fighting to try to send to Congress. James Charleston, I seen you on my page last night. I know you know who I am. I wrote you in prison before you did me a few favors. But Stay tuned in. You make it to Washington, man, look at me. We can work on some of these bills we need to get passed. We need to get the Anti-Terrorism Act, Effective Death Penalty Act off the table and quit suspending the rebate habeas corpus around the United States for federal and state prisons. We also need to get this Texas Article 1107, Section 4 removed from prisons. If they wasn't a lawyer, they should not have that one bite of the apple. Because that application you give prison to fill out of their innocence, you know the court not going to grant them relief. Trying to explain their case like they're writing a letter to their mother. Come on, man. Texas could do better than that. And it's a shame, you know. And Governor George Bush and Rick Perry, man, they aired Texas death row out. A lot of people was innocent. But a guy like me, I'm still walking on top of the dirt, man. I got a chance to really advocate for my own innocence. You might hear about it one day, but right now ain't the time. You know, I feel like, you know, it's a plan. It's bigger than me right now. And I like to speak about those people that's really, man, don't have a chance, man. They get that execution date any day. Peace out. Power to the people. Keeping the street, keeping it real, baby.